G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Light Machine Gun, Fallout New Vegas. This is a weapon mod which brings the Fallout New Vegas Light Machine Gun into Fallout 4. It's as simple as that. Let me show you. Okay, welcome back to Fallout New Vegas.
Oh my god, best Fallout ever!
Shut up, I'm talking. So this is the LMG back in its native game, at least on the character's back, and pulling it out, that's what it looks like in third person, which is pretty good. It's pretty solid for 2010 spec graphics. It is what it looks like in first person. Just ignore the reanimation I've got with this thing. The reload animation is the same as it always was, and I like the 5.56 round back in Fallout New Vegas. Not entirely relevant to its Fallout 4 incarnation, but you had a lot of versatility in these rounds. I like using the match grade rounds on this thing to reduce that spread a little bit, which there is a lot. Notice the great rate of fire on this thing. There's no camera pull when you're firing this thing. It's all based in the weapon's spread, which is kind of a lot. You can narrow that down just a little bit with the match grade rounds, which is pretty cool. And check out these iron sights. Yeah, they're sort of backwards. You've got that middle post at the back and the two front prongs at the very front of it. So feels kind of backwards. And if you look at this thing's damage, at least with the match grade rounds, 32 damage for 392 DPS, which is astronomical. And just looking at this thing, it's definitely an endgame weapon because it does require to have 100 end guns to actually operate. So should we expect an endgame performance out of this LMG from DAC? Who knows? Snap back to reality, and this weapon features many characteristics from its Fallout New Vegas incarnation, which was obviously intentional, but I think it's worth mentioning them anyway. So this thing does fire the 5.56 cartridges as well, and sports a pretty high DPS because even with completely stock parts, this thing is just sitting a touch under 1,000 DPS before we've even modified it, which is pretty good. And the damage per shot is also pretty nice as well. It also features this big old drum mag at the bottom here because back when they were making Fallout New Vegas, they didn't want to spend time and resources making a proper belt feed animation for this thing, so they just made it mag fed and called it a day, which gives it a nice fast reload in Fallout New Vegas, but less so in this one for balancing and very artistic reasons. But we can split hairs there, or we can talk about what this thing is. So, if you look at it closely, it looks a little bit like an M249, or military designation for an FN Mini-Me, and a little bit of M60 in there as well. Perhaps a little bit of M240 Bravo as well. We might explore that, but yeah, it's just a mashup of many popular light machine guns. American, because it had to be an American weapon, because we're playing Fallout New Vegas, has to be American, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Okay, attachment time. First of all, we've got the receivers, and if you go down to the bottom here, this powerful receiver will grant you the highest damage and DPS, and a little bit of extra range as well. Another notable receiver here is the rapid receiver. If you've got a legendary effect that'll be boosted by a rate of fire like explosive or wounding or something, there's potentially an option there. It'll do the same damage as a standard receiver, but you'll have higher DPS because it fires faster. But we'll go for the powerful receiver here because that is the one that's going to make the most sense. Best DPS, best damage per shot. Next, we've got the barrels. Starting off with a short barrel, you can have a longer barrel, will improve your range. Light versions of those things, it'll strip it back a little bit to make it a little bit lighter in your inventory. Not that much though. There's also options for heavier barrels, which will give it a slightly different handguard design. Looks cool. There's also ergonomic versions, which have this ergo grip there and a different type of heat shielding setup there. That's kind of cool. There's also the tactical ones, which will give you a little bit of Picatinny rails there. And we're edging closer to M240 Bravos here. Yeah, I said it. What are you going to do about it? Anyways, this will give us improved range, reduced continuous fire penalty, but at a heavier weight. Don't you worry, we can carry that. That'll be fine. Next, we've got the stocks. You can have a standard stock, a light stock, heavy stock, which, ooh, getting closer. Gives you a better recoil, a bash, better heavier weight. Man, we can deal with that. There's also an option for a recoil compensating stock. Looks like it's one of those paratrooper stocks that you'd find on an M249, which is kind of awesome. This marksman stock here is also pretty sharp, but I'm gonna have to go for that one because we're getting closer. I'm getting excited now. Then you have the drums. You can use these to enlarge your ammo capacity. So this extra large drum will give you superior ammo capacity but inferior reload speed. No, we want to fire this thing from Monday to Sunday, so we'll throw that one on. And now we can look at the optics of this thing. Starting off with the iron sights, and happy to report that these things aren't completely messed up and abominable like they are back in Fallout New Vegas. Although I'd like for there to be an extra slot to give you the original Fallout New Vegas style iron sights on this thing, just for the memes of it. But there's also glowing versions of this, which is pretty neat. Dot sights, hollow sights, reflex sights, and laser sights for aiming with the laser pointer there. Pretty helpful. There's also options for a combat scope, which will give you that DAC ACOG sight, Very nice. There's also options for scopes, short, medium, night vision, recon, and thermal. So pretty much everything you need out of a scope can be attached onto this. And as medium goes, that's your highest magnification. But honestly, anything more than that will be just completely overruled by what recoil this thing gives you. So probably for the best of this thing doesn't give you over a medium style scope. So that's kind of cool. The question is, what do I want? I want glow sides, baby. We want this M240 Bravo facsimile to be raw and untamed. We're not going for performance here. Next up, we've got the muzzles, which include a flash hider, which will hide the flash from your gun, also give you a little bit of extra range, which is handy. There's also a bayonet here if you want to run up and poke things with it and make it a pretty solid melee weapon with this thing's weight behind it, so that's cool. Compensator, muzzle booster will give you a higher rate of fire, boosting your DPS, but the recoil will be kind of crazy. Also gives you a tiny penalty on range, but not anything to write home about, really. Muzzle brake there will give you a more penalty on range, but it'll help you control the recoil a little bit. There's also an option for a suppressor here, which is pretty nice. Do I want to rattlesnake this one? No. We'll just do the muzzle brake on this thing to help reel in the massive recoil. This thing's going to be loud and proud and raw, damn it. Next, we've got the legendary effect provided by legendary modification. I'm tempted, but I will not. And there's also a bipod option for this thing. You can have the bipod removed. A folded bipod will give you better hipfire accuracy, and the unfolded bipod will give you better accuracy and stability while aiming. So if you've got this thing with a scope, then it's pretty handy to have, that little attachment. We'll go for a better hipfire accuracy on this thing, because we're not going to be stopping and popping that much with this thing. And you've also got that extraneous DAC accessory, which doesn't utilize the Picatinny rails that have been built into this particular barrel, but that's fine. You have a flashlight, recon laser, and a VATS targeting module. Let's put a recon laser on it. No. What about a flashlight? Why not? Battlefield 3 style tac light. We'll blind them in combat. Anyways, that's our light machine gun. I kind of like the look of it. Nice. I'll show you how to get them. There's probably a few uniques getting around, so I'll show you how to get those as well. The light machine gun can be found on bosses, mutants, gunners, Brotherhood of Steel legendary spawns, and vendors at level 35, which 35 might be a reference to Nick Dacos, but I'm not really sure about that one. Also, super mutants can carry this thing. They've got animations with it as well, which is kind of neat. This mod also adds 2 different unique versions of the light machine gun. One of them is located right here in the Commonwealth at Revere Satellite Array, next to Revere Beach Station. There's Reap Marina, there's also County Crossing, National Guard Training Yard. If you've ever done the Lost Patrol, you've been here. And what you want to do is find a unique boss, a super mutant. You will go up and see him. You can sort of see the animations that he's got equipped for the light machine gun, but we'll make short work of all of these other super mutants around. And even these super mutant warlords, yeah, they tank a little bit, but these guys are falling pretty quickly to the might of the machine gun. And this thing is not even, like, fully optimized either. I could have this even stronger with, like, suppressors, an extra 25% on top of this. But, yeah, so far we're doing pretty well. Now, usually the boss of this place lives at the top of this particular satellite, so I guess we'll just take the easy way up and slay them up close and personal. See you later. You two over there, you can pipe down. And I believe that leaves us with just one left. We'll see about that, Nasher. And there he is. He's got a Red Maker, which makes targets bleed for an additional 5 points of damage, which is not as strong as wounding, but honestly, you'll take it. With this thing's rate of fire and ammo capacity, you can make pretty good use of that. Also comes with a paint, you can see that. There's also Nash's armor and the welding mask. You can give that to, what's his name? Strong. Give him the machine gun, give him the armor, he'll look like a brand new mutant, but yeah. The next unique can be found in Nuke World. Now, you're gonna have to go very, very far north to actually receive this thing, because it is located just south of the North Point Reservoir, which is this gigantic dam. You'll know it when you see it, and if you come around to this section, you'll get jumped by a bunch of Mirelurks. That's how you know you're in the right place. So where you want to go is this sewer grate. You'll find the town over on this side. You've got that Nuka-Cola billboard over there, and then you've got a couple of houses on this side, and a few car wrecks. Look, you can't miss it. It's a giant red pipe. Anyways, head on inside and you'll find a new custom cell, which is supposedly challenging, but I think I can probably cheese this by the fact that I've got a bunch of sneaky perks. And there's also turret versions of this gun, by the way. We'll explore those a little bit later, but yeah, this security gate is chained, so I suppose we should find our way around. And there's a bunch of tripwires and lots of traps and everything. We can just all bypass that. Except for that one hurt a little bit. There's also an option to unlock this, which if I do, I might skip a bunch, so why not? You might be free to explore this cell by yourself, but industrial trunk, just an extra little bit of loot. Pretty much how lockpick works in this game anyway. So let's keep on going and see what we can find. Oh, a bunch of automatic cannons. It's a T6M giving me the middle finger there. Nah, not today though. I can't activate those traps and whoops. Oh, we get to a maze now. Lovely. Well, this will be interesting to watch. I'm just going to skip past all of this. Okay, this is an end to it by the looks. It walked over about, I don't know, 3 or 4 mines to do it, but we'll get this open and see what happens. Okay, this sort of looks promising. I'm guessing there's a password hidden somewhere in that if you don't have the necessary skills to actually unlock that. And, ooh, invisible wall. What? Oh, okay, now I'm through. Saw that one coming, and we'll just walk past these and probably disable that trap if we can. By poking it, that's good. And a keep out sign. Well, I'm not going to obey that. You're not a cop. And here it is. It's the Nomad. This is the skeleton man who, I guess, lived here. 50% more damage when traveling alone. Well, that's all I do when I make these videos, so yeah, extra 50% damage, I will take it. And there you go. We kind of cheesed it, and it wasn't that difficult, but, you know, we've got an extremely skilled, overpowered character doing this, so, it happens. Okay, we're outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. You've already seen this particular version of the light machine gun, so we'll skip over to sniper status version with a medium scope and an okay amount of sway. That's interesting. I thought there'd be a little bit more, but what this thing really does to get you is the spread, the recoil, the accuracy. It's going to be a little bit hard to mag dump this thing with a medium scope, but we'll try our best, damn it. Here is the red one, the red maker. It's a little bit green at the moment, but if you're colorblind enough like I am. So we've got the rapid receiver on this thing to stack bleed damage. We've also got the muzzle boost on it to boost that rate of fire even more. Kept the close range barrel on this thing, and the we'll put the bipod on it, which extends out further than the barrel, so we'll be able to poke people with a hot bipod if they get up too close and personal. There's the bash animation. And lastly, we've got the Nomad here. This one just with a suppressor and a more sensible magnification for a sight and the holographic. And if you notice closely, there's a little bit of heat glare that happens when you sustain the fire for long enough. And that's because this thing's barrel actually heats up, just like that. That's one of the cool effects that Dak put onto it, and honestly, it looks awesome. And if you notice, the game looks a little bit more vibrant now while I turned on a filter. It makes Phoebe look a little bit orange, but actually, no, speaking of Phoebe, we've got a Stellar Blade outfit on. This is the Crimson something dress. Usually it comes with a jacket, but I decided not to put that on because honestly the dress looks cooler by itself. We've also got Stellar Blade hair, the little ponytail, and that little bit of stuff in the hair, that's actually Eve's sword. And you can tell the ponytail is off to the right a little bit, her right, and when Eve grabs the sword out, she, you know, puts her right hand over her head and sort of materializes. So that's how that works. The more you know. Completely useless information to what we're actually discussing today. But let's start off with our sniper status version. A reminder, this is a custom scope overlay that I think it was Valerie recommended to use this one using the version of a 50 caliber sniper rifle, and honestly haven't gone back since. And yeah, I can only like micro burst this thing to actually get any hits in at all, but if I do get a couple of hits in very fast, I've got a lot of damage that I'm playing with here. And if they're sort of gathered around like that, you could justify a little bit of extra mag dumping. Oh, there's the magazine. Let me just get this thing nice and reloaded, nice and fast. There we go. As they get a little bit closer, we'll be able to see this thing's full measure of damage, which is no slouch. Keeping it on target, that's your that's your, I guess, your weak point there. It means this thing's not going to be a sniper rifle because she just kicks too much, which I don't mind. I think it's fine. Really using it out of its intended purpose anyway, but enough of that. Let's run in nice and close and hit him up with this one. I give the super mutants shit for being tanky, but these gunners, oh, they're something else sometimes. And they're not giant lumbering targets like the super mutants are, so it makes them a little bit harder to kill. How good for VAT's range and accuracy? Pretty decent. Do I sniff a 10-round burst in VATs? Check out that. That is massive. Okay, well, this thing in VATs is going to be kind of awesome, I think. Using it in VATs probably won't be as good because it'll eat up the AP a little bit faster. But, you know, you could probably still get the job done with it. Anyways, I will see you bleed. It's something. I suppose the rate of fire with the muzzle booster and the rapid receiver is more akin to the M249. The squad automatic weapon, as it were. So that's cool. Unfortunately, despite trying to capitalize most on the bleed damage, it's barely there. I'm gonna say no to it, but I don't think I'm going to be finishing these guys off by making them bleed to death. Anyways, let's go over to this one now. Extra 50% damage. 6,500 sneak crack attack criticals. Very, very impressive indeed. And this one, we can sort of let it roll. We've got the bipod folded up and the laser sight on this thing, and the hipfire accuracy is deadly accurate. I could probably reliably hipfire that person from all the way up here, provided the recoil doesn't move off my crosshair a little bit too much. Ooh. The Molotov flame hits different when it's more vibrant. Anyways. We'll keep chasing. Oh, the gunner went inside. Usually there's a fourth. Don't know. Completely lost track of them, but I think we've got this. This is a perfect door breach weapon. We'll just sort of stand here and hold down the trigger. Anyone that starts shooting at us, we can sort of juggle with staggers, and there we go. That guy just happened to walk straight into where I was shooting, so that's convenient for me. And it looks like through the testing that we've done here, very short amount of testing, that this thing definitely does hold up to be its sort of end game potential as it was back in Fallout New Vegas. It's very, very strong indeed. Probably a little bit too strong for those nerds out there that don't like really strong weaponry, so yeah, you might want to put a cap on this thing. Limit its receivers a little bit if you feel like it's too good, but it's definitely doing good work now. A little bit different from a sword, isn't it, Eve? I do love the extra vibrant Commonwealth. Look at the colors popping out of the screen. Isn't it awesome? If I get used to this and turn it off, the game just looks incredibly dull. And I've already given the game an EMB and a summertime flora modification to make it look green, but I don't know, maybe it's too much. Anyways, eat crit. Okay, so far so good. I suppose we'll just empty the rest of the magazine in him and then hit him up with the red bleeding device. Nope, that's him mutated. Nope. Nope. If you can see that health move a little bit, this guy's got a lot of health to pick from, so seeing literally any movement at all is pretty important for this bleed damage. Nope. We seeing any of that at all? Doesn't look like it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We've got a shorter barrel on this thing. We don't have the best sights for it, but I'm going to crit him over and over. And those crits are definitely being dealt fast. Oh, good. No, I didn't want to move anyway. I'm just going to spam the Z key. We dodge. Perfect. We dodged all of that. That was a perfect dodge. We got some of our, beta. No, it's not beta energy. It's the other one, the red one. The red bar. Getting all of that. We'll hit him with a shockwave and knock him over. Just spam that over and over. And we'll ignore the deer. Okay, we've got a mysterious stranger. That actually has got me this time. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the bleed, but it's only 5 points, so you can't really expect too much else from that. Like, 5 points is pretty much nothing when it comes to a health bar of 36-odd thousand or something, but you know what? Let's play with the turret. Okay, here's the game plan. First, we lure the monster over, which appears to be working absolutely perfectly so far. And then we get into proper danger. Oh no, my light machine gun is jammed. If only there were, well, more light machine guns for me to choose from. And I believe the term is say hello to my little friend. So everyone, please light him up. No. Okay. Full disclosure, this is not as effective as I thought it'd be. I guess I'll just, like, shoot him and, like, 2 damage? Really? Really? These turrets obviously haven't invested into their, respective perks now, have they? No. Awkward. Okay, let's go over to Nomad. No. Okay, almost dead. Nope, get away from me. Oh, now you've done it. Okay, we lost a few turrets in that altercation, or maybe I didn't hook them up, but okay, well, that wasn't as effective as I thought it'd be, and they were really pissed off. Okay, we're coming down from it, but yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Gotta do better. Yeah, the outfit isn't the only thing Celebrate about this video. You all saw that. I used to have a preset that would make it less crazy, but unfortunately, I downloaded a mod that would supposedly untie the physics from the frame rate, which caused crashes. I had to, you know, reset the entire system. Anyway, so what we're doing here is we're gathering some gun food, something or other. Look, we're going to get a lot of crits out of this, hopefully. That's 3 crits, 4. And we didn't get any more than that. I guess it calculated after that last one. Alright, we'll see if we can roll a nice one from Concentrated Fire. The answer is no. Luckily, enough AP is back. Okay, we're good. All of our crits are now ready. We'll just quickly clean up the rest of these pricks and, oh no, you are seriously not running out to... What have you got, a switchblade? How do you think this is gonna go? And one-shotted. Yep, who would have thought? But don't you worry, we'll make short work out of this, my alert queen. Later. But more importantly... Nah, I'm just gonna ignore that raider. They're nothing. There's a different type of Mirelurker down there. Let's see if we can get a VATS shot. Good enough. And hit him up with a crit. Broad daylight too. Let's keep it up. Maybe add some VAPS criticals into that. Not bad. Let's hit him up again. We've got one more crit to go. Hell yeah. So this is pretty much as good as you can get. It's like stealth heavy gunning. So yeah, that's done pretty well. Function as intended. And that, I think, will be enough. So that there was the DAC light machine gun from Fallout New Vegas. And as you can tell, the Mirelurk Queen, she liked it a lot. Probably a little bit too much. That nod of approval is getting a little bit weird. And who have we got here? It's a random vertibird going back to the Pridwood. Mission accomplished. You found that all the super mutants were dead already. Probably. Anyways, if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. It'll be down there. Highly recommend it because it's an ESL, so it won't even take up any space in your load order. It'll give you a nice little endgame solution for 5.56 rounds, and it's just an all-round really fun and cool gun to use. So highly recommend it. Go and download it if you want. Thank you very much for watching. Download Phoebe as well. She doesn't look like Eve from Stellar Blade by default. She's wearing a Vitor outfit, actually. This one's free. You can find it online. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See ya!